Pastor Jane Uwambe from Mwoa, Africa, had asked us to come help her with a roof that she had asked for a couple of years. We took the job. After arriving, we realized that the walls that they had previously built were too weak to support the structure we were building, so we basically had to build a pavilion over top of what they had built. We ran out of money with all the extra cost and had to make a plea on social media for funding. And God provided. The next day, we had the money to finish the job. When I shared this with Pastor Jane, her and her church rejoiced for 45 minutes. I'm really amazed to see what God will do when you put yourself out there and make yourself available for service.
People ask me, why do you go, or why do you do what you do? And one of my favorite stories from Men and Women of Action is when I visited a children's prison with the children ages 6 to 16, all boys, and we took them gifts and candy and played games with them. And as we were leaving, one of the young men looked at us and said, after you leave, the guards will take the candy and the food from us, but they'll never take the memory of you being here. And at that moment, I knew that's why I do what I do. So do something. Be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ for someone.
The first thought that comes to mind when I think of Men and Women of Action is God's plan. The story I love most is while in Florida working disaster relief after Hurricane Michael, the pastor's wife began to recount to me the day that her and her husband arrived at the daycare and saw the damage. They sat in their truck, stared, and felt helpless. The entire town depends on this daycare. In those moments, they thought to themselves, what are we going to do? Also in those moments, MWOA were gearing up and heading to that small town in the Panhandle. And in those moments, God's plan was coming together. With the help of MWOA volunteers, the daycare was up and running within a month.
So I think one of my favorite things about working with MWA over the last few years has been the stories I've gotten to hear. Sometimes they're really funny, mishaps and people making new friendships through silly things. And sometimes it's people showing up, just being who they are and trying to get a job done. And sometimes it's things seeming to go completely wrong and then getting to see God show up and just do something near miraculous in order to make the thing happen. But it doesn't matter what it is. Literally everybody who's ever been on a project seems to walk away with a story, and it's become my favorite part of getting to talk to our volunteers.
Men and Women of Action do 5 things. We do disaster relief, stateside missions, international missions, celebration events, and discipleship training. These were just a few of our stories. Would you like to create your own story with us? Check us out on social media or on our website.